in leadership, you want to grow personally, and probably even grow in friendships. Today we have a few people to talk about some additional growth opportunities in Toastmasters. And the first of these is Steve Compton, our HPL chair. Steve Compton is a self-proclaimed Toastmaster evangelist. He completed his first HPL last year and is currently working on 2 more. Steve is a project manager by day, and he believes we are all actively doing something that could be done better if we took time to wrap the HPL around it and involve several close friends as part of the team. With a goal to have District 6 leaders complete 70 HPL projects, that's not per person, but as a total, this year, he's counting on all of you to join him in completing HPLs and encouraging others to complete an HPL this Toastmaster year. Please help me welcome Steve Compton.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I hate microphones. Fellow Toastmasters, fellow Toastmaster leaders, do you want to be a better leader? Are you a high performance leader?
You bet.
If you'd like to be, one of the requirements of improving your way towards a DTM is a requirement to do an HPL project. What is an HPL project? I'm a project manager. I see things in projects. How many of you, raise your hands, have done an HPL before? Quite a few. Are you who have done one before willing to do another one this year? Raise your hands if you are. Secondly, those of you who haven't, how many of you have done a project in the last year, something like planned a speech contest? Something like started a club. There's so many different ways to do an HPL. An HPL is simply 7 steps wrapped around a project that you probably are already planning to do in the next 9 months. The district, historically, since 2003, has done 20 to 30 HPLs as a district. Our goal for the year is 70. It's ambitious, but it's not as big of a stretch from where we've been as it might sound. Last year, the district did nearly 50 HPLs. I was in the Metro Division where Michael Brown was, in fact, our division governor. I have to think, the words get confused nowadays. His goal for each of us as club, or as area director, as area governors last year, was to have each of us do an HPL. I did one of those with another person to start a club at Hennepin County. It sounds ambitious, but the HPL wraps some nice steps around it, and I think that I would encourage each one of you to consider, as division directors and as area directors, taking on an HPL this year. Again, I would stress that it is one of the requirements for completing the Advanced Leader Silver. And in every one of your lives, I'm sure you are doing a project, because we do projects every day. And the project that you're doing is supposed to focus on helping others in Toastmasters or in your community. The steps involved in an HPL are gathering a couple of friends, people to help encourage, people to help guide your project, to give you advice, people who have done this before. You gather a few of these friends together, and you have a couple of meetings to pull together the ideas for your project. Then you give one simple speech to your club, telling them what it is you're going to do. There's a couple more meetings while you're pursuing the actual project. And at the end, you give yet another speech, telling the club, sharing the club with the club, what exactly you accomplished. It's that easy. Most of you, raise your hands if you've never given a speech. I thought so. How many of you could give a speech at the drop of a hat? Do you carry one in your pocket? That's how easy this is. When you're planning the project, you spend a couple of meetings getting ready, giving that first speech is very easy. When you finish the project, giving that last speech is also very easy. There's a lot of work at the front of the manual that helps guide your vision and thought process, and I encourage everybody to do all of that work, because when you get into the project, having done that, you are well prepared to deal with some of the things that might come up. And risks are one of the things that you want to deal with in project management. I'm over in the corner. I have one more question for you. How many of you want to save money? I didn't see all those hands go up. That's kind of strange to me, but okay. The HPL packages normally cost $26. The district is funding them. All I need from you is a commitment that you will complete an HPL this year, and an email address, an agreement that you'll respond to me as I send emails to you to help encourage and to help you through that process. I'm over in the corner. I've got HPL packets with me. If the division directors want to do this for their entire division, I would love to support that as well. Daya?
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. I'm doing my second HPL this year, and it was fun to compare the self-evaluation leadership scores. I'm evaluating myself a little bit higher now than 5 years ago, so I hope that's good. Our next presenter is David Rasmussen, our Speechcraft Chair. He was an area governor last year and completed his DTM in July. Also in July, his first child, Rose, was born, and I think she's graced our presence today. David is a former product development engineer who developed and scaled up diaper fasteners, and now finally is getting opportunities to use them. David has been a Toastmaster for 4 years and joined Eloquent Engineers a few months before their inaugural Speechcraft, now an annual event. The title of his speech is A Date with Toastmasters. Please welcome Speechcraft Chair David Rasmussen.
Remembering first. Do you remember the first time you had the opportunity to go on a date? I was, I don't know, 13, 14, and there was this 16-year-old girl that for some reason thought I should be driven around by her and go to her evangelical church. And who knew what was involved in all of this? It scared me to death, much like I'm sure Toastmasters scares many people, even if they've attended a time or two. I'm going to talk today about Speechcraft. First, I'm going to tell you what it is. Then I'm going to give you 3 reasons that I want you to take home with you and pass on to others. And finally, I'd like to persuade you to pick one club that needs Speechcraft and sell them on it, because Speechcraft can help you achieve your goals as division or area directors. What is Speechcraft, first of all? Speechcraft is a course that your class puts together, that your Toastmasters club puts together. First session, you will have some attendees, some participants, and you will tell them how to select a speech. that's in the Better Speaker Series. No huge challenge to come up with some reasons and some ideas on how to put together a speech. Next time, they'll do an icebreaker. Time after that, they'll do project 2 in the Competent Communicator Manual. They'll do the general and specific purposes. They'll do perhaps gestures. They'll do perhaps vocal variety. These are all things that your class will teach them. And at the end, they will graduate, and you will give them some sort of certificate, some sort of award, and perhaps they will continue on as members of your club if they are persuaded and see the benefits for themselves. Why would a Toastmasters club want to do Speechcraft? First reason, the leadership opportunities, the awards that people in your club can achieve. If you're doing a competent leader book, Project 8 and Project 6 are always the tough ones to get done. Many opportunities if you're doing Speechcraft to complete Project 8 and Project 6. If you're sending out a flyer to try to recruit people to come to this Speechcraft session, that was a Project 8. If you're organizing a special meeting, that was a Project 8. If you're assisting, that was a Project 6. There's no reason why several people shouldn't complete their Project 8s and their Project 6s in a Speechcraft. Once you have your competent leaders done, then the next thing is the Advanced Leader Bronze. How do you achieve an Advanced Leader Bronze? 2 educational speeches. What are we doing every session in a Speechcraft as a club? Presenting educational speeches. There's 6 to 10 opportunities to give educational speeches. No reason that members of the club shouldn't be getting Advanced Leader Bronzes. Advanced Communicator Silver also requires a couple of educational speeches. So these speeches come in handy at some point. Not everyone in your club is necessarily motivated by awards. Maybe they've been to 100 meetings, maybe they've been to 1,000 meetings. There are some people who are there because they want to pass it on to others. People that have outstanding mentorship skills. There's a member, actually 3 or 4 members of Eloquent Engineers who have kind of maxed out in terms of what they're going to learn after 15 or 20 years. They're here for maintenance mode and keeping their ums and ahs out. But they can sure help other people to give the evaluations, to give the educational speeches. They can really provide good advice to new people that are not familiar with Toastmasters. They can get people through those first several speeches that give them the confidence to continue on with Toastmasters. Second reason that your club may consider Speechcraft is you want to give these mentors a time to shine. The third is a result. If you have the leadership, if you have the mentorship, the membership is going to follow. Eloquent Engineers, of the people that signed up to participate in Speechcraft, more than half become members. Of the people that make it past meeting 1 or meeting 2, it's almost everybody. Once people can attend Toastmasters for 5 or 6 meetings and see the benefits, if they're graduating from this Speechcraft class, you got them hooked. And you'll add 2 or 3 members to your club. What's in it for you? Your directors, area directors, division directors. What's in it for you is you can pass this message on and direct it at a club that you have that perhaps is going to hit 17 or 18 members, and they're not going to qualify to be distinguished. You can convince that club that if you pursue Speechcraft, your club is going to be distinguished. Pick one club, do it between now and say the end of November, because it takes a lot of time to plan the Speechcraft. They will complete it, they will get their 2 or 3 members. You will become distinguished, your area will become distinguished. Going to an evangelical church with this girl who's a year or 2 or 3 years older than you, pretty intimidating. Toastmasters, pretty intimidating. Speechcraft, more like a ski party. You can pull this off and all be distinguished area directors. Adam, program quality director.
Thank you, David. And the district does have Speechcraft programs available at no cost. Should they contact you, David, now that they have the information in the directory? He is in our directory and you can contact him. Our next presenter is Mary Adams. Mary has been a Toastmaster since 2005 and has served in many leadership roles. She has served in all the club officer roles as area governor, then as Frontier Division Governor, and now Division C. This year, she's the Youth Leadership Chair. Her home club is I can never say this, the Minnesota Returned Peace Corps Volunteers, also known as MRPCV Toastmasters. Additionally, she is a member of 2 other clubs. She believes that her growth and participation in Toastmasters is due in a large part to her mentors who've encouraged her to take on new challenges. You'll hear more about mentoring after Mary. Her challenge this year is to help clubs and members reach out to help youth, to help them become better communicators and leaders. Please welcome Mary as she explains how you can be a part of developing tomorrow's leaders. I do believe she has a little commercial regarding the silent auction first.
Good morning. Who's all coming up to Sugar Lots next weekend? Great. Who is going to donate something to the silent auction? Yay, thank you. In fact, I already had Diane think that she's going to donate. She has this preach your own keynote by next week. Hey, I might need that. My keynotes, I may need this. Please, please, I've been looking to donations for the silent auction. Could be endless. I did pass out some flyers. If you did not get one, I have some here. Please look so on. Doesn't have to be anything exotic. Of course, we would take an exotic trip to some place like Eaton Island if you're giving that away. I'm sure we could get a lot of money raised on that, right, Diane? I think people really be bidding on that. But I would sell also some things like a sports game, passes to the local art museums, craft items, towels, whatever you do. But that's my brief commercial. I need to talk about youth leadership. This is really what I'm here to talk about. What is youth leadership? It's about giving back to the community. It's about helping our young people, who is our next generation. They're the ones that are going to be coming into the workforce in another, depending on how old they are, the next 5, 10 years, to be coming into the workforce. And many of my young people today do not have that skills of really communicating. They are great with texting, everything online. They can run circles around me and many of us. But how are they at communicating? I leave that up to you to judge. But youth leadership is one tool to help our young people, help them to gain that skill. Think back to your first meeting at a Toastmasters Club. You walked in and you were scared and you were shaking in your boots. Your knees were knocking. And what did you learn? By the time you became a competent communicator, you learned how to organize your speech, how to use your body, hand gestures, how to evaluate someone, and the list goes on. That's what a youth leadership program is all about. Only drill down more to their level and how they can learn these skills, which will carry them forward into the future. This is a gift to them. It's also back to how we at Toastmasters is giving out to our community, helping. Who are these people? Who are these kids? Some of us have young people in our lives. We are connected with the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the church group, young kids. Some of us not. But I'm sure there is ways we can connect with the schools. But what do you need to do? You need to have the support of your club. They could be your sponsors. The Toastmasters District 6 here do have some kids that we can help you with. Once you have support from your club, you connect with 3 or 4 Howard Toastmasters to help you put on this program. Ask for them to give you 2 or 3 commitments, time slots, to be part of youth leadership. And usually most youth leadership programs last 8 to 10 weeks to do. You can do a little longer depending on how many young people you have. And you have that commitment. You have your Toastmasters. If you have travels on your Toastmasters, we have Facebook here on District 6. Go out there and say, I need people helping me. Reach out to me. What is in it for the club? The club can potentially get adult members of the children, because the kids will go home and talk about how they have learned so much out of youth leadership. And the parent then in turn will want to come. But you as a Toastmaster, there's 2 things how it can benefit you. One, you could do it as an HPL project. We just heard about high performer leadership. You could do youth leadership. You take that on. I'm going to be the coordinator, the leader for this program with my club. That's the high performer leadership. It can also be used, so one of the requirements your mass communicator go. Right here, you have 2 awards in a year. But the bottom line is how it's going to help our young people. It's going to help benefit them to gain the skills they need to interface with their peers and help them down the road. This is a gift that we are giving to them. I'm sitting over in the corner. I have some pamphlets on youth leadership. If you are ready to do a commitment on youth leadership, let me know. With that, I turn it back over to Diane. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And again, we have youth leadership kits available at no charge to you if you want to make the commitment to do one. There are lots of opportunities for growth in Toastmasters, and many of them you can do in HPL for. My first high performance leadership was when I was an area governor. That was what my project was. You can also consider doing a speechcraft to develop your own skills, to have your club. And in fact, Megan Jo Paulson even told me about when she was in her former district, how there was a club that was going to do a speechcraft and they had nobody show up. So she got very creative and they did the speechcraft for just their club. And that helped the club grow because it focused them on the basics and then they became distinguished. So sometimes it's just the act of doing the speechcraft. And then youth leadership. The youth are our leaders of tomorrow and you can help develop them as well. And as you're looking at all the opportunities and all the things you can do in Toastmasters, from your division director to area directorship, it's good to have some help. It's good to have some guidance. To speak a little bit on mentoring, we would have had our mentoring chair, Sharon, but she was unable to be here today. So in her place, Larry Merrick, and then he'll close it out before our break as well. Please welcome your district director, Larry Merrick.
This year we have a, I don't want to say corporate-wide, but Toastmasters-wide mentor program. And Sharon Rollison is heading that up. Our goal is to have every person, or at least every director here, have a mentor. The trio has mentors. The division directors, we have assigned past district governors to be their mentors, and I'm hoping all of you as area directors now have mentors too. Just by a raise of hands, raise your hands if you have a mentor assigned to you already. So those of you who do not, we will connect afterwards or you can email me, and we will find you a mentor, whether that is a current or past division director, or a past district director, or a past area governor. Because we found that by having these mentors and meeting once a week, once every 2 weeks has been really helpful. You can pass ideas off on them of, hey, I think this would work, or I'm going to try this for officer training. What things do I need to prepare for? And it's always good to meet up. You don't always have to meet in person. I have one of my mentors is actually in Canada, and we meet over Skype. And so definitely do what works best for you. Also, as a director, I'd like to have all of you reach out to be mentors for others, whether that is mentors for a club officer, mentors for members in your club, or any other scenario. Sharon put together this year a Mentor of the Month. And every year in our district newsletter, we're going to be recognizing one of those mentors, as well as taking those and submitting them to Toastmasters International. Because Toastmasters International also recognizes mentors. And I don't know if it's once a month or once a quarter, you will see, mentor on the homepage of Toastmasters International. And so we are submitting those to Toastmasters with a little write-up to see if we could get District 6 recognized on the Toastmasters.org website. We do want to recognize somebody today as being a mentor. And I'm not going to be the one who is going to be talking about this person, so I'm actually going to bring up our Division H Director, Eric Johnson, to come up here, because he's the one who nominated this person. So let's welcome up Eric.
Thanks, Larry. So I've been a Toastmaster for about 3.5 years now, and I talk a lot about being a Toastmaster with my wife and with my family. And this past couple weeks ago, when we had our division contest, my parents came to their first Toastmasters event. And they were so complimentary of all the Toastmasters that they met there. They said everybody was so welcoming and just engaging, and they really appreciated having the opportunity to meet people that I got to work with on a regular basis. And one of those people is somebody that they said is very sharp and astute, very welcoming, and I had told them that it was my mentor. And this person is somebody who has meant a lot to me over my journey with Toastmasters. I never would have envisioned myself in a leadership role without her when I started. She's somebody who had noticed me early on. I participated in some speech competitions, and she came up afterwards and she would talk to me and just tell me what it was like to be involved in Toastmasters at her level. And not only did she notice me, she encouraged me. She said, I see potential in you. I see you going places in Toastmasters. And then beyond that, she stuck with me, even though I faltered a few times in our relationship. In fact, we've learned together that trying to meet together for lunch is really not a very good idea, because I stood her out twice. And she still wants to be my mentor, so I don't know. She's a very special lady for sure. In addition to that, she's guided me. So for the speech contest that we had at the division level, she was there encouraging me, even though I felt like I was getting pulled in lots of different directions. She kept me on course. She provided resources for me when we're still needing some spots to be filled. So this person has just really carried me throughout this whole 3.5 years and made it a great experience for me. So without further ado, I'd like to recognize Mary Adams. Mary, would you please come up to the front of the room? Thank you so much, Mary.
You're welcome. He's right. I really always think I didn't do that much. I was just there helping him behind the scenes. That's really what a mentor is about. They have skills, they have the knowledge already. You just need to help push them and guide them there along the way. Be there for them, be that sounding board. Thank you for all those wonderful words.
Thanks, Mary.
Karen. Before we take our break, there's one more person I'm going to bring up here. She doesn't know I'm calling her up yet. And that is the one who we just made a vote to assign as our realignment chair. I told her that I would introduce her to all of you, and she may want to say a few words. So please welcome up our newly elected realignment chair, past district governor, Drew Jorgensen.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Super Valley. Have you seen any deer out and back?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the turkeys walking across the road? No, actually, they drove into the building that's mainly here. Welcome. If anyone has any questions about realignment or knows that clubs are moving for realignment, connect with me through the Contact Us through d6tm.org. We're here to help you as we realign your clubs in spring for the spring convention. And for the reform, thank you for letting us move forward. Mr. District Director.
And at the fall conference, Drew will be given more detailed information on what's going on with the Reformation. So stay tuned for next week. I believe at this point, we're going to give everyone a short break.
Let's just make it 15 minutes, even though we're ahead of schedule.
So we're ahead of schedule, and we're going to keep everyone ahead of schedule so we can get all of you out early. So be back here in 15 minutes. Thanks. Bye.
Let's just say 11:05.
11:05.
Over there.